It is a wild time to be alive right now. So we're actually not doing a cover ranking tonight because I cannot do overlays anymore. They canceled my subscription to StreamYard. Good reason, I didn't pay it. I couldn't actually, and so hey, let's just chat. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about basically anything you guys want to talk about. I mean, now's a great time for MK to pop up with a silly question and say, hey, which do you like better, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Stones.
Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna see LK because Pittsburgh's the Sunday night game.
Yeah, it's sports ball time.
So it's probably
yeah.
Well, I want to point out I live streamed with you through a Bengals Super Bowl. So I don't I don't take those excuses.
Right, I know, right? The whole purpose of that.
But I've also live streamed through, World Series games, North Carolina games.
I'm used to it now. I'm used to. You might want to change the title, or you're going to have some confused people showing up for ranking. Yeah, you're right about that. Let me change the title here. Let's see. Here we go. I am going to have a auction on Tuesday. I have to. Between then and now, we have to come up with $300 to keep our lights on top of just normal living expenses. And I'm figuring, judging by what I see in our fridge and such, I'm going to have to put $20 in the car and then buy 4 days worth of food as well. So probably about 200, I'm thinking we need to make in order to be able to not get our lights turned off. And then on Thursday, we're worried about rent and not losing the apartment. So we're going one thing at a time. But Gail says she thinks she can handle that. That's why I'm thinking, if I buy the groceries for Saturday. So anyway, point being is auction on Tuesday. There will be a giveaway thanks to Glenzer. Glenzer last night I used to do giveaways at the end of the auctions. Like if you spent $10, you get a spot on the wheel every $10. So if you spent $100, you got 10 spot on a wheel, and you could win a free trade paperback or something. I haven't done that in a long time because it didn't show that there was any kind of effect. Like it wasn't encouraging people to bid more. But Glenzer bought this hardcover absolute Superman. This is Jim Lee and was it Brian Azzarello? And this is Superman for Tomorrow from 2000s. That hardcover absolute, big, beautiful art too. If you've never seen an absolute, they are absolutely gorgeous. So this will be the giveaway. And every $20 spent will be, you'll get a spot on the wheel. So in this case, if you just spend 100, you get 5 spots. Helps out your odds to win. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Rhaegar got a wrench. Yeah, a long time ago. Let's see. And hello to everybody. They canceled your StreamYard. That's horrible, dudes. Well, they kind of do that when you don't pay them. They did. I'm not like, oh, motherfucker, I can't believe they did it. No, I absolutely believe they did it because I didn't pay them. I couldn't pay them. We've had money going to other places. What happened was we moved up here with a cushion. It got taken. You guys heard this. It got taken away at the hotel. Then during the summertime, we got hit twice. And we ended up in the negative. And we've been trying to dig ourselves out of this hole. And even when I had this big sale and Dominic, God bless him, stepped up, bought like $800 worth of stuff. We're like, yes, finally, we're going to have that. The car breaks down. So we've been trying to dig ourselves out of this hole, and we're nearly there, but we're also at a spot where if we don't pay rent on Thursday, and we're going to lose our apartment. If we don't pay electricity on Wednesday, they're going to cut the power, which means I can't make money. There you go. At the very least, I got the internet to stay on today. So there you go. It's like one step at a time. If you were watching a movie, it would be an odd top. They're one damn thing after another. There you go. All righty. But today we can't do the cover rankings. So like I said earlier, hey, where is MK? We need a silly question or something like that. Let's keep the conversation rolling. What have you guys seen that needs talking about in the comic book or geek realm or even just in pop culture? I've got to admit, I've been kind of living a very, what do you call it? I've had the blinders on, trying to go through certain things. And the only thing I've read as far as comics are concerned has been Nightfall. I've been just absorbing that stuff. That's not true. I did read just because I thought, well, maybe I'll check this out. And if it's bad enough, I'll talk about it. I read these Harley Quinn graphic novels they put out. They've ruined Harley Quinn. I think the last time I've heard Harley Quinn was good was the Jimmy Palmiotti in 2000s. He pauses for a
well, that's the first handful of Harley Quinn and Power Girl were fun. I'm not gonna say good.
Yeah.
But Harley Quinn is a skin suit now that people just fill with anything they want, as long as it's lesbian.
Yeah, it's true. I think they so miss out on a great Harley Quinn storyline. She was with the Joker. It's an abusive relationship, but stats show that the most abusive relationships are lesbian relationships. Yeah. And actually it goes to show women are just more emotional than men, and they do lash out more. And it would just go show, and it would be really a great story to have Harley Quinn bounce from one abusive relationship to another, because that often happens. This is, and another thing, she was also a good cautionary tale, because another thing that some abused women do is just go right back to the relationship knowing that the man will change. And that was one, she was a great story that was just cut off at the knees for a gimmick, really.
Here's the thing, and you know this, and everybody in the chat knows this. Your gay relationships are presented as idyllic in comics because they're not allowed to be portrayed any other way.
Yeah.
And your parent-children relations in comics are statistically skewed to be negative, whereas same-sex relationships are statistically skewed to be positive, as if, I mean, is in like 100%. And but that's, again, that, the mainstream industry has courted an audience that doesn't want to be entertained. They want to be validated.
That's true.
And that's why there's never any problems between Harley and Ivy that can't be settled with a smooch and a cuddle. Because that's what the people that they've courted want.
By the way, I'm going to say this. Screw Perch. I think it's time to admonish. He had a video, and I watched it because I was like, no way he's saying this. And it said worst comic book of all time or something like that. And it had America Chavez. I can't deal with that kind of just wrong think. I mean, I never thought wrong think ever existed, but Perch made a video where he was saying how horrible Gabby Rivera was in writing America. I can't get behind that. It actually, I was like, oh, I was clutching. I put on pearls just so I could clutch them.
You take that back, Rhaegar. What channel do you think you stumbled into?
The fuck you talking about? Yeah. By the way, here's the thing, and I will absolutely tell him he's wrong. But no, I'm not like, oh, fuck Perch or anything, because he's not wrong. It's a very bad comic, but it's so bad, in my opinion, that it is absolutely fantastic. I love America Chavez for how bad it is. The one that I think would be the worst comic book of, I wouldn't say all time. Obviously, I've read comic books that you guys have never seen. I would probably not go off on a weak limb to say that Eric has also. I actually saw a sci-fi comic drawn so poorly, but the writing, I swear to God, this was a line from it. With the moon and sun with the moon and sun between us. Think about that. It was just, it was really, really, truly a horrible, horrible comic.
Okay.
But if I were to point out, even like in the last 10 years, the absolute worst comic book would not be America Chavez because of how fun America Chavez is on top of being bad. The worst would have to be Fire and Ice, or even worse than that, Female Furies. And I think actually Female Furies were Furies, not furries, was written better than Fire and Ice, but Female Furies destroyed the lore of Apocalypse.
Okay, I'm gonna commit this from a different angle.
Okay.
America Chavez, structurally, the way it's written, I'd say it's a toss up between America, Hawkgirl, and Fire and Ice, because none of the writers involved have any kind of comics pedigree. They were recruited because of their, the boxes they checked, right, and were given free reign to destroy the characters. All three of them thought they were doing great work on those characters, and all three were wrong. Now, if Ed Wood might have made the worst movies anybody's ever made, but you enjoy them for how laughably bad they are.
Yeah,
and I would put America in that category. If you're going to say it's the worst comic book, I can't argue that. Yeah, Maneater, that guy, that'd have to be right up there too. I mean, it's funny. I said, but in Perch's defense,
yeah,
he didn't get what we got out of it, which was just a whole lot of fun. And so, maybe he's looking at it from, I'm sure he's looking at it from a purely analytical standpoint, and you can absolutely make a case for it being the worst. And I know you're doing this tongue in cheek.
So yeah, of course. I have no. Yeah.
But I'll say, but I do have a. I told Venkman after Ultimate Spider-Man came out, I said, Wes is going to hate this. He's going to trash it. And my boy didn't let me down. He even did his videos. Is it time to quit Ultimate Spider-Man? Gabe said, it's time to admit that Jonathan Hickman's dropped the ball. They're both 100% wrong. Because, and I don't know how many times I have to say this. And again, it's just me. But I have read over 1,000 different Spider-Man comics. I've seen every way there. I've seen him fight against impossible odds. I've seen him web up muggers in the street. I've seen the highs that you blah, 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 blah. But what I haven't seen is a continuing story with a living Uncle Ben, a benevolent J. Jonah Jameson, Peter Parker with a wife and kids who, admittedly, Peter or Spider-Man was barely in issue 10, but they are telling a story. It's a story that we haven't seen because the characters that are being used have never been presented in this way. I am enjoying it immensely because of that.
I just let myself in.
There's going to be time enough for battles.
And I have control of their overlays.
You can put in overlays?
Yeah. I can look at them. I can video clips, all that stuff.
How is it that you're able to do that on mine? Okay, so hold on just a second. Let me show you something here. This is ridiculous. By the way, for those who are wondering why we're not doing.
Oh, hold on. I can't. But I mean,
okay.
I can still let myself in though.
What happened was we've had a hard time, me and Gail, and I've had to put money towards other things. I know I could live stream on StreamYard if I didn't have the $35, because I bought the Cadillac of StreamYard in order to have RDV. Dalton can run a show if he wanted. LK could run a show. So in order to have basically everybody be able to participate in any way, shape, or form they can, I bought the Cadillac. It was the $35 a month. But me and Gail have been underwater for the last 2 months, and at this point, it's like, okay, we're in dire straits. We need. My guess is about 200 to 250 by Wednesday. So I will be doing an auction on Tuesday. And you will, every $20 spent gets you put in onto the wheel to win a hardcover Absolute Superman Man for tomorrow. I might even pull something else out so there's a couple of prizes, because I truly am in a hard situation right here.
I was talking to Pixel. If you want to give the cover ranking, we'll just stream to your account from our StreamYard.
Well, I thought about that. We started up.
Because the reason I'm suggesting is that's what I do for Extreme Movie Show. Rob doesn't do anything anymore. He just shows up and he still hosts.
He shows up for you.
Yeah.
But we could do that. I'm thinking we're in the. We just started up a live stream. It's been a long time since we've just talked. I don't mind doing that.
Well, I'm not saying to do it tonight, but I'm saying for future references.
Yeah, if we don't,
all I ask is you give me the overlays ahead of time and the thumbnail.
Yeah, I've actually got them in a folder. I could send them along to you, and maybe
because I'm doing
the auction on Tuesday. Maybe we could do.
I
don't see me and Gail going. We're not going to go out to eat or anything. No. We already got the cards that were paid for, so we might go to a movie. So tomorrow night we could probably do Marvel Tales at 10:30 tomorrow. Normally, of course, we stop doing Monday because of football. But if y'all want to do them tomorrow, and we'll just have a chat tonight, friends hanging out. I hate doing this because I'm wearing a 3X and it makes me look fatter, like I got boobs right here. Anyway,
well,
it's the man boobs that make you look. No, sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the actual man boob. Yeah, go on ahead.
Dude, all I need is just your YouTube link, so I can connect it to it, so you can just stream from your side, because you're gonna hit your limit.
Oh yeah, and that's also one of the things that you get when you buy the Cadillac of StreamYard. If RDV wanted to, he could stream whatever show over to Geeky Puppet Show, or if Dalton wanted to put it on his. Heck, Eric Breen could literally have an active YouTube account just by streaming from here to his channel, and it would just be sitting. So yeah, Michael, yes, I do have a PayPal, and I absolutely accept tips through there. So there you go. At least you don't have tipples. That's true. No worries. Don't sweat it.
So like I said, the easiest thing to do is because honestly, I don't want to clutter up, like confuse people, think like, oh, you're going to Kiki Puppet Shows on hosting the cover rankings. So what I would do, I would just do what I normally do. I would just connected to your YouTube account through my StreamYard, and then I would just Pixel said we just all
right.
We would just say go.
Yeah. We'll do that tomorrow.
I mean,
I know a guy who has no nipples. Well, now you know a guy who has 3. Which, by the way, I only bring it up because my wife took a shot at me the other day.
Because honestly, I was thinking about that. You can't afford it month to month. So, I mean, if you need to do that, that's
Beckerman has three nipples.
Say who?
Beckerman.
Deckerman?
Beckerman.
B.
I don't know who that is.
It's because you don't get out amongst the YouTube spheres enough.
I guess not. I really do have to get back into that.
Okay, before we move on to the whatever we're talking about next, because I want to have VENKMAN, I'm sure, will weigh in on Ultimate Spider-Man. DMLK, see if he's available Tuesday night, because VENKMAN and I aren't.
Of course, yeah, you have your.
So you don't have to do it by yourself.
I was like, what? It's going on Tuesday. Oh yeah. Top 5.
I have I'm going to be doing a live stream. It's going to basically be my version of what we did for MARANYA. I will be doing an auction, but also the fucking hat is in hand. Seriously. I think we will get by on about 200 to 250. That's what, and from there, I think we'll be on even ground. I'm also going to do a GoFundMe. Somebody said I should do that. I've been thinking about it. I'm not very good at doing this, by the way.
No, you're not.
Is that the Ko-Fi? Yeah, put that in the chat and I'll pin it. But we've gotten to a point, and I was actually thinking about doing a GoFundMe just so we don't end up here next month. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Great film dead.
There you go.
I know if it was like great FLL D3AD, that would be the grateful. But there you go. Hello, and hang out for a while. Maybe you'll find some here. Last night, a movie I forgot to mention, The Naked Jungle. Charlton Heston is a plantation owner versus ants. Remember that one? I think I did, but I do know of an ant movie. Wasn't there one called Phase 4 in the 70s?
Yes.
I remember that one, and that one was
could hypnotize people.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. When I was a kid, I haven't read.
I was going to say that you're talking about getting out in the YouTube spheres. There's a guy you've heard us mention him, Higgy Pop. He does like 45 to 50-minute videos, nonstop, frenetic energy.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I just don't. I've seen one.
Watch one.
Yeah,
and
I did.
He always talks about Beckerman. It's this guy that shows up occasionally in the chat and comic book memories, and like he put like a drawing of him with 3 nipples on the side of a milk carton, that kind of stuff. But when he gets a package, he opens it with a broadsword, and he's just, I said, he'll dress up like Hawkman. He's the most entertaining person I've ever come across on YouTube.
Didn't he just have Easy awesome. Reader on?
Yeah, he stopped by. Yeah, Easy Comic Reader.
Yeah,
Easy Comic Reader. Okay, was it done by a black guy?
No, it's actually a white dude.
Wow.
But okay. Yeah, I said, check out one of his videos. It doesn't matter which one. I
have actually. You recommended him before, and I was like, "Wow, this is exhausting."
In Disguise says she meant Iggy Pop. Well, Iggy Pop is what we're talking about.
Yep. MK did ask a question. I don't know if you guys can answer this one. Maybe RDV, because it's between. Which one is the better, Talking to the Dead, Odd Thomas or The Sixth Sense? I don't think Odd Thomas actually talked to the dead. He was more. He could see. Things that were going
in the Dean Koontz book. Odd Thomas was just a small fry cook in Commando, California, who could see the dead, but he couldn't hear what they're saying, and they couldn't really talk. But for whatever reason, they couldn't move on, and he usually would help them out throughout his little mission stories. The Sixth Sense was a little kid who just said he just saw dead people. He didn't really do much. He just complained about everything.
But he did talk to the dead.
Well, he could actually hear them. Yeah, he could make it because Bruce Willis' character, spoiler, was dead. The older movie. But I like the reason I like Odd Thomas more because the first book he talks to Elvis, and then he talks to Frank Sinatra like in the third book. And I had to look up like Frank Sinatra's dead. Oh, that's right, he did die.
26 years ago.
I know. So and then in the second book, he talked to the ghost was. It was H.G. Wells.
Wait, does this mean I can't do backgrounds?
Or no, yeah. So.
Hey, by the way,
I can't do backgrounds either. I was thinking, wow, it looks so plain.
Where are the rest of our the merry men from the previous reading, men and women?
Well, the girls aren't showing up, and Pixels aren't showing because there's no cover ranking. They didn't want to do a hangout.
What? Well, no offense taken.
Well, they didn't know what kind of hangout was going to be.
So
Pixel want to go to bed.
Yeah, Gabe sent out a tweet today saying it's time to admit that Jonathan Hickman dropped the ball.
Who's Gabe?
He's Gabe Hernandez. He actually, I like and respect his opinion. Same as Wes.
Say anybody else Hernandez probably can't see balls. They call them stripes.
But
So
you know, I'm just amazed at how many people really need fighting in every issue to enjoy a superhero comic.
it is kind of odd
So-
that I mean there are some comics that don't have that, and it's just fun. So yeah, I can do music,
I'm gonna say this.
but I can't do.
Hickman does not
background.
have control over the other writers in their books. This isn't like, he's like
Oh no, he's talking about. He's specifically talking about Ultimate Spider-Man.
yeah, no, yeah, but I'm just saying because some of the other books are
Oh,
starting.
yeah,
to
well,
get-
the rest of the Ultimate Universe,
Yeah.
I
Ultimate
couldn't
Universe, I don't think he dropped the ball. I think people are so spoiled by Amazing Spider-Man from the early days, they expect it to be exactly like that. Honestly, this is Elseworlds. You got to take that in mind. So, but also, I think Hickman's actually been doing pretty well with this because he could so easily just kill off Uncle Ben the next thing or make Harry Osborn a villain, but he hasn't done that. He's going against what people think are going to happen.
I
was
want
on E before you showed up. That I said I like the. I've read thousands of Spider-Man fights, but what I haven't read is a continuing story with a living Uncle Ben
And
Peter with
friends.
a wife and children.
Yep.
This version of Jonah Jameson, Harry Osborn married to Gwen Stacy, an Otto Octavius that's not a villain, and I said I'm liking this. I don't need a battle scene thrown into every issue.
Rager,
Give
if you gave
second.
me a couple, I was just gonna say
give me
quickly,
just a
Rager.
second. I want to test something because I've been testing these. I can't do
You
backgrounds.
can't do backgrounds, can't do
overlays,
can't do
but
layouts.
can I
either.
do this? Yes. Okay, so there we go.
Oh,
At
yeah,
least we can have Breen Ford. So there
Well,
we go.
yeah, you can do
There we go.
videos. You just if there's overlay already up there, you can do this,
Uh,
or you can't. Oh,
So long as we've got our Eric Bond, I think we're okay. We're good to go, guys.
When did John Goodman play Bond?
By the way, I've been skipping everybody's comments, Maranya.
yeah, even
I've been
MARANYA.
off,
She's been here the whole time.
Englantine, I hear you. We barely dog paddle here ourselves. My husband's recovering from. I hope he gets better. His wrist gets better and such. Yeah. The other ones they're talking about, I don't call him. Meet Iggy Pop. Nope. Let's see. 6. Since there's a comedy out now where a couple moves into a house about the wife can see the ghosts. Yeah, isn't that called Ghosts? Whose spirits are the ones that. I think I've seen the reviews for that.
Do you know who the actress is there? That's the one that played iZombie.
Oh, okay.
That's her.
Rose McIver.
Yeah, she's a comedy about ghosts. They're a couple that move into this house is haunted.
Let's see. What gives people feelings of power? A, money, status, or C, sending the new guy for a tool that does. I have done that, by the way. I've sent when I was in the movie theater. I sent people to get the popcorn repair kits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
just gonna say next time MK asks a question, we'll let him actually repeat the question since he's here.
There you go. But in all honesty, I've always felt a sense of self can give you a lot of power. Maybe some unearned arrogance as well. But yeah, if you know who you are, I think that actually helps out a lot. What were you saying?
In Disguise says, I don't mind when they take established IPs and change things around, like an alternate universe or what if it's well written. Problem is that most times they are not well written. And that's the thing, because they like to take it like, we're going to do an Elseworld, but we're going to do it where it's completely woke.
Justin is saying, Justin, I think he thinks you look like Robbie Coltrane because he's going, no, I would have liked to have seen Robbie Coltrane as Bond. He was a villain, but he also played Hagrid, if you've seen the Harry Potter movies.
I was going to say, neither one of them are criticizing the way the book is written.
No,
they just don't like what's being written in the book
because it's not action.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. It's just
I think they're probably upset because they teased the Sinister Six and there was no Sinister Six battle.
Maybe because I said, I mean, other than that, I watched their thing Saturday night because he was filling in for Drew because Drew was in New York.
Yeah, Comic-Con right now.
And
Aaron,
like 4 in a row were books that we covered Thursday night that whatever the other books were that we both liked. We other than Spider-Man, we liked the same things.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, they're upset because it's not Spider-Man going around being Spider-Man kicking ass. It's because it's Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's more like Ultimate Peter Parker, and that's the problem.
Their problem with this last issue was this issue wasn't even Ultimate Peter Parker. I mean, he had a cameo in his own book, but I'm okay with that.
Well, I
like the world. I hate the term world building, but I like the world building they've done here.
We call it Hickman building. So,
James, what did James Gunn have to say about his DC?
The last I saw, he showed his dog. The dog Crypto is based off his own dog.
Yeah, if that's it, I'm sorry. I don't see a big deal.
But other than that, he was praising the new Christopher Reeve's movie that was out, documentary.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. I got to tell you, I watched that Christopher Reeve movie, man, and I'm sitting there, you're crying. Why? Shut up. I mean, obviously.
It's sad, right?
Yeah, obviously, I'm 8 years old when Superman comes out, right? So that is the perfect freaking time to hit. And he, in my opinion, embodies Superman to the point where I can see why he got typecast. That's actually one thing he brings up a lot in the documentary, because nobody would hire him, or not a lot of people would hire him, because he's Superman. And it was hard to see him as anything else. But the truth is he was an inspirational person as Superman. It was so easy to see him in that role. And when I was actually surprised to find out a few things about him in this documentary, but to see him lay low, to see him fight or try to fight back, to actually see how far he got and what he's done for people who've been paralyzed. I'm going to put a little spoiler in because it's history, but he actually began to move his legs before he died. I mean, according to the documentary, it was very soon before he died. He was actually able to move his legs. The
only thing I've seen from him that he came out and did was he said, "My pride in this project couldn't be greater. Pleasure from start to finish with everyone involved. From DC Studios, here's a full trailer for the beautiful, horrible, and tragic Creature Commandos on stream December 5th. He's been talking about Creature Commandos. Okay. So, I mean, I don't think he's even said anything about Superman really much. Wow. There was a French tweet he replied back, and he put up a puking. Let me translate it. It says, huge yellow tonight, the France 2 News, which closed the subject on Superman by showing images of the next James Gunn story. Sorry, a fan-made AI pack trailer found on YouTube. That's why he's making the puke noise, because somebody made their own fan movie based on his, and he basically criticized it.
Yeah, I will say this, James, you can't be tired of him and his DCU. You haven't seen minute 1.
Also, if you come here and ask, like, did you hear about this? But you don't tell us what it is you're talking about.
What it is, I know, right?
You do this all the time, James.
Yeah, we're guessing, but the truth is nobody's tired of James Gunn's DCU. There is money, by the way, in saying everything sucks. There is a lot of money in it. And it's great to harbor that kind of audience if you plan on continuing to harbor it.
I mean,
the moment you find stuff you love and you want to talk about that, they're going to turn on you. But I'm sorry, but you don't know anything about it.
The only thing we know is what we see leaks. Yeah, so we're going to have Guy Gardner. They have already casted Nathan, not Nathan Fillion, but I mean they casted actually the Green Lanterns. Mm-hmm. You saw that. I think John and Hal are casted now.
Yep.
I saw that, and I was like, how about we switch Guy and Hal around? Nathan Fillion is Hal.
I think I think I see where they're going, and if they did this instead of Ryan Reynolds, I think people would have been very open to it. because when the Ryan Reynolds film came out, people have been watching for almost 10 years a black Green Lantern. John Stewart was the main Green Lantern to a lot of people at that point in time. It's kind of had a bit of a turnaround where Hal is back to being the main Green Lantern. So I know some people are a little ticked that he's not. It seems like it's going to be because they cast a younger John Stewart. It seems like it's going to be here's John Stewart, now go forth, sir, and have your movies, which I'm not mad at. Like I said, had they done this instead of Ryan Reynolds, if they cast a black guy and said, hey, he's John Stewart, I think it would have been just more well received back then. Let's see. I loved Christopher Reeve in Somewhere in Time. Says Delight loves movies. Yes, that movie was a bit of a tearjerker. It was really good. I enjoyed that one. I also enjoy him in Death Trap with Michael Caine and Diane Cannon. That one was done.
Well, I just hope that we don't get Pa Kent saying, let the tornado win, bro. Let the tornado win.
I know. Let's see. Moran I argue that Christopher Reeve was more inspirational after his accident than when he played Superman. All right. Let's see. We had a supervisor who loved his truck, would not let anyone touch it. His 50s name was Alan, and knew young pretty girl started at work. Center get left-handed Allen keys. Okay. Christopher Reeve did not need to wear a muscle suit at all. Let's see. The Creature Commandos trailer looks very mediocre. All right. It's honestly so cringeworthy. And Superman, he says, we got a trailer not too long, not too early. Just have no interest. Okay. Well, that's legit. I mean, if you've actually seen something, it's like, yeah, no. Wow. But yeah, I mean, hey, look, there might be some great movies in there. And if you're just 100%, oh, it's James Gunn, therefore I'm not going to be interested. It's your loss, man.
I'm not only already tired of James Gunn, I'm already tired of whoever replaces James Gunn.
I hear you.
I believe in getting ahead of the curve.
You go. Yes.
I hear you though, because they're all it is. Everybody talks about James Gunn said this, James Gunn said that. It's like I don't care about what Mark Hamill says. I don't care about. It's
right
like,
now. Yeah, there is a baby being born, and he's going to be an actor, and I'm fucking tired of his shit.
Hey, did you know that Brian Stelter informed us that for security reasons, Trump's McDonald's visit was carefully staged ahead of time?
What?
I thought they just hired him to work there.
I know, right? He didn't actually fill out an application. What is Brian talking about?
What an absolute bunch of humorless boobs. And that's just Brian Stelter.
Let's see. I hope Gunn does well with the DCU, but I'm not holding my breath. That's a realistic take. Look, I loved his Suicide Squad. Apparently, Rhaegar didn't. I liked it better than the other one, and I had fun with the other one. But
the light, that was kind of random. I'm like, didn't she die 2018? She's bringing up Margot Kiddo's suicide.
No. Well, if you're talking about Superman, I guess the whole thing comes together. And yeah, it was her. She kind of went a little bit mad, and it was sad. You know?
I mean, she joined Supergirl and saw how horrible it was on that show. So probably was like, man, what happened?
No, it's a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. I don't care about Mark Hamill says either, but he keeps making me hear it. Yeah, Rhaegar is. I write about the Mark Hamill thing. He is a bit out there now. Let's see. Well, as Reeve himself said, the costume kind of flattened most of his ripped physique. Yeah, have you ever seen him like the behind the scenes where he's working out? The guy
still though, honestly, still in the suit though, he still looked ripped.
When I'm financially ready, I may be taking part in some of your action. Well, thank you, Michael. I certainly appreciate that. Alrighty, and I really do.
We'll start now.
Now, I'm going to get some stuff together, and it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that I need to sell rather than want to. But
all I'm saying is tonight, just let me know tonight. Send the stuff along so I can schedule the stream. So I can schedule.
Oh, for Marvel Tales tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to make a thumbnail and advertise for the sale on.
Yeah.
James, Please tell me you're not a freaking Snyderverse guy where it's like, oh, no other movie is ever going to be good enough because they didn't let him finish his Snyder.
I'll just say Henry Cavill had a good thing, and then MK, are you eating chips?
Yes, or something.
I can't tell because
I was finishing a bagel. That's why I kept
That's
muting my
why
mic.
that's why I muted you.
Oh, I kept muting myself. I didn't realize like you did it when I walked away.
Yeah, no, I did it because I've got a thing about chewing noises.
Oh yeah. It's all good.
And some people have the nails down the chalkboard. So
it's just funny because I didn't know if it was his microphone something else or he's just eating or whatever. I couldn't tell. Anyway, as far as I liked some of the cast they had in there. As far as the Wonder Woman was great casting. I had no problem with they're going to do that cast for the Jon Stewart show on HBO Max. I had no problem with that casting.
Yeah.
My only issue was Eliza Miller, whatever his name is, did not fit the bill. Yeah. If you're gonna have Barry, have someone who's tall and actually around the same age. Barry's not a freaking 15-year-old kid around 50-year-old guys.
Yeah, a lot of times they mix up the personalities for the Flash. It's be like, "Hi, I'm Barry." No, you're impossible.
Well,
Barry.
To be fair,
yeah.
Grant Gustin wasn't a good choice for Barry Allen.
No,
but he was a likable person, so he made Barry likable. So we accepted it, and it skewed younger because it was the CW.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is Ezra Miller is like fingernails on a chalkboard.
I would have rather had a much older Barry.
Miscast.
Like when John Wesley Shipp was Barry in the very first CBS Flash. It wasn't the best Flash show, but it was the perfect age for Barry, being much older.
The biggest mistake they made with Barry, and the padded suit they gave him, which honestly didn't need a whole lot because he's a big man. They probably shouldn't have done it at all.
Oh, you know what would have been better?
Is Barry had all the comic book characters, like even Reed Richards looked like the Hulk until John Byrne took over. They made him too bulky.
I would have rather had John Wesley Shipp as Barry, older Barry Allen, and then have someone else be like younger redhead Wally.
Well, they did bring him back as an older Barry.
Yeah,
Crisis thing, but
but I'm just saying I would have rather
he was the perfect age, like you said, in 1990.
Yeah,
he was perfect age for that. And I said, I haven't seen that show in forever, but
I know it's been.
Mark Hamill was great on it as a trickster.
I thought the pilot episode was kind of dull, and I was worried. But then I saw like the next episodes, and from there on, I was a big fan of the '90s. But that pilot episode, oh my gosh, it was so cool.
Here's the thing. So James says he's not interested in James Gunn's universe, but you're looking for a guy who did not play Constantine. He just took the name. So you want a sequel? He's looking forward to Constantine too. Sorry, Keanu Reeves was that. Keanu Reeves is the same thing like Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix.
You know what?
Keanu Reeves is not Constantine. Sorry,
but you know what? I dig that movie too. So let's see. Too many people, for some reason, says In a Disguise, think the actors are like the characters they play in the movies and TVs shows, when in most cases they are exactly the opposite. Yeah. And Rhaegar is saying that that he heard that the Captain Falcon reviews or the screenings have been shit.
The problem is
looking forward to actors. It can be a dumpster fire.
The problem isn't the actors; it's the people creating the shows.
Oh, of course,
they think they're better than the source material.
Well, Disney has an agenda. The only thing they care about this Captain America movie, and again, this probably makes me a birthday party clown, is they want the gotcha moment of Captain America being black. The deal with it, chud. They don't care if the movie's good. It's the message. And unless they pull out of that, their revenue is going to continue to decline. And I said, the Daredevil trailer was a welcome sight from the same people that gave us She-Hulk 2 years ago. So maybe maybe it will start course correcting.
Here's the other problem.
Maybe. Oh, and
forgot
yes,
what-
I saw that Brad Bird Spirit animation, Austin. That is actually very impressive.
The other
Maybe an EFAP in the future.
one of the other big problems that these studios have, they're paying $150,000 just to make a suit when people can make it for less than $100. Cosplayers do it, and it looks better. So figure that out.
Yeah,
Did anyone watch a show called The Hunters? Asks Michael Taylor. I don't remember.
Well,
this.
that's one about the Nazi hunters. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one with Al Pacino?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think
Okay,
that was
yeah.
called The Hunters, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
It was when they were they were a bunch of they're hunting down Nazis.
James is saying, well, the truth is I am a fan of his films. Actually, if you're talking about Scott Snyder, because of what I said, so am I. There are some of his, but that Rebel Moon was shit. But there are a lot of his films. I even like what's that one that looks good but is kind of crappy with all the women in the psychiatric. What is that one called?
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to escape a bad mental hospital, and every time they go into an action scene, they all become like male fantasies of sexy women, and what the freaking hell is that called? Had Sweet Dreams done differently. God, I fucking hate my memory sometimes. Anyway, but I'm a big fan of his movies. Let's see. That's who I am. The cut of his Justice League is what got me into. I love the Snyder cut for Justice League.
Were you just trying to think of Sucker Punch by chance? Because that keeps
Thank you. Yes, Sucker Punch. That was what it was called. I like that one, and that one got lambasted. But let's see. But yeah, I love the Justice League Snyder cut. That is one of, if not the greatest superhero movie ever made, in my opinion. Say again.
No. I was saying, yeah, that's it was a fun movie. Yeah, they also made a noir. Didn't they make a noir version of it too, like a black and white?
Yep, I watched that one as well.
Can you imagine really if these executives were told to shut up and just do the source material? Here's Batman in series. We're going to adapt each episode in a live action TV series. And you could do it.
Yeah, these days
they have the story. Go frame by frame. You can do it. If
you get to Robert Rodriguez, you can do it on a budget. And
if people can draw and write manga, and anime can come on and you know what, we're gonna just start changing from the source material. They don't, because the people who watch anime are people who may have not watched or read the manga, but they'll go out and turn out and go buy the manga after watching the anime, vice versa.
Okay, I'm gonna shift gears for 1 second back to Constantine.
Go ahead.
That first movie, it wasn't Constantine from the comics. It was a version of it was a character named Constantine, because 95% of the people that went to see that didn't know there was a comic book character named Constantine. Now, the people reading the comics at the time said that's not Constantine. And then what was worse, however many years later, we get the most comic accurate version of a character in the history of comics.
Yep.
And Matt Ryan playing Constantine.
Yep.
So now people that read the character is never going to accept Keanu Reeves. But guess what? He is a much, much bigger action star now than he was when he made the first one.
Yep.
And 95% of the people still don't know there's a comic book character named Constantine. That movie will be fine. It won't be for Dalton, but it'll be fine.
Won't be for me either.
Hey, I like the original. I've got it. Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to watch instead? John Wick 5, because he's alive.
Okay. James Alcorp is also saying, to continue the conversation, I'm not saying that there aren't any other great DC movies. I'm just saying I have no interest in Gunn's universe.
I already read that before.
That's I want to respond because I did say, don't tell me you're one of those Snyderverse people. Because in all honesty, James, we do get that. It's like, oh, Gunn, because they got to finish the Snyderverse. They're never going to finish the Snyderverse. It's done. Move on. And yeah, if that's what you're saying, you're not like, oh, fuck everything DC ever does, because it's not. Because that's what, let's face it, that's what happened with Aquaman 2. That's what happened with Blue Beetle. You know, they give up on it, so we can't go see it. Blue Beetle was actually enjoyable. So was Aquaman 2. Nobody's going to find out, though, because they were pissy about the fact that it was going to be a standalone movie because it's not continued in James Gunn's universe.
Also,
Now,
he said-
Rhaegar is saying the more I learned about DC from DC fans, the more I realized
the Blue Beetle thing was more of the fact they said, fuck Batman, he's a fascist.
Yeah, that one lost a lot of people too. I gotta be honest about that. Which, when you see the movie and you realize that character, okay.
But I'll tell you, getting back to those movies, you can't just blame YouTubers and comic book collectors, comic book readers, because there aren't enough of us to move the needle on a blockbuster.
That is true.
But it's amazing how territorial, how whatever, even fans of just the comic book movies, when Gunn made that announcement, not only were we pissed, but so were 3/4 of the people that had made Shazam a hit in the first place, or Aquaman, a $1 billion movie. It's, like I said, it wasn't just us, it was everybody.
Yep.
So whereas Twitter can only reach an X amount of people and we can't reach anybody, they said it, you can't blame us for that.
I love the claim, but not anymore.
Shazam is one of the most least deserving to be a bomb. Shazam 2
was fun.
That was a fun.
Did they finally turn full heel, Venk?
I don't think
you don't
so.
love the Acclaim anymore?
I'm not saying I didn't love them. I said I still like them, but they got a MVP, gave him a card, and the Mike guy, I think his name was Callister, I think it is. I can't remember. Caster kept the card in his pocket, even though after the other guy said no.
Mm.
So they're over. I think they're going to break up.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
Pop the champagne, kids. The long national nightmare has begun.
What?
I'm. Dodgers just won the pennant, and they just steamrolled through the playoffs, or through the majority of the playoffs, with 4/5 of their starting rotation injured.
So
when they get them all back, holy crap, they're going to be unbeatable.
So anyway. here's the thing about the Shazam movies. They were family friendly. They were superhero. I mean, if you were original Marvel family fan, you could probably enjoy this just as much. It wasn't bad. There was no one of the brothers coming on saying, you know what, I think I might be gay. That was a comic book that did that by Mark Waid. Yeah, and one of the characters become gay. Yeah, and the movie was just them. Billy learning to accept his family and trusted them in the first movie, and just letting him on the secret. And then, like, the second movie is just like Billy felt like he had to be Shazam all the time, and just had to deal with everything.
Yeah. Now I've always been able to look at the movies as Elseworlds. It's just another telling of it. Granted, if they go too far, it's like, come on. Or if in the case of the Captain Falcon, I think that was a destruction of the character in the comics. It's a destruction of the character in the movies. I see it the same way. It's
and this guy is bringing up Superman dead before the formation of the Justice League, I guess, in the Snyder Lane, because they are rushing.
They were stupid about that.
They didn't have 10 years. They're trying to put 10 years of effort into like 2 years.
Marvel literally gave them the blueprint for a successful universe, and they told them to go themselves.
Well, I mean, Bruce Timm and what's his name, Paul Dini gave them the blueprints for Batman. They keep messing that up every time.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, there's a reason why the animated series is beloved by everyone, because it's what we want. Instead, you keep giving us what you think that we should want, not what we want. So when movies flop, they're like, I don't get it. Why are they flopping? At this point, I don't think they even care anymore because they have money. They can afford the flops.
Okay,
but
I got this right here, and everybody's going to be happy about this. I guess I wonder, can I still shit? God damn it! There goes the fucking spot. That woman has a fucking baby in that apartment. I'm getting hot boxed here, so that little baby's getting it too. It is goddamn disgusting.
What about a baby getting what? What?
Well, she smokes so much pot, it seeps over into my apartment.
And she's got a baby.
It's just so apparently, and you guys could sleep easy now. They came up with a new Hawkeye.
Well, we
this
know,
is,
but yeah, late.
yeah. Unfortunately, Bounding Into Comics has decided to put this big ass thing in front of so you can't actually share. But okay, so it says making their debut in the 5th and latest issue of Camp's Ultimates is this new incarnation of Hawkeye. And by the way, you did notice that it said making their.
Oh, fuck that.
This new incarnation of Hawkeye is not Clint Barton, but rather a young Native American named Charlie Ramsey, who, rather than being explicitly gifted the bow by Tony Stark as part of his plan to kickstart Earth's 6160 superhuman population, blah blah blah. Let's see. Let's get to the important part.
It's an Ultimates. I told you it's the one why we didn't like it. It's Denny's
No. I'm saying, okay, what site is this?
Bounding Into Comics.
Didn't they used to be fairly conservative?
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing that, but this whole thing is about soon after this tweet's publication, a number of readers noticed Camp's use of the pronoun them to refer to Hawkeye, to which they responded by inquiring with the author regarding the hero's gender identity. Why? Yeah. There have been a lot of questions about Charlie's gender, and I'm wary to talk about this stuff outside the book itself. It feels a bit like cheating, but I know it means a lot to people, so I wanted to make a comment. And there you go. You should be happy. You should be happy that he is queer, apparently, and he is using they, them pronouns.
Right, but I'm saying that it's, from what I said, Dennis Camp, he's an activist. I get that. Yeah. But if you're respecting the pronouns of a fictional character in an article about him, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So the reason, and we did this on the best of the week, when I got down on Zach for this, because they did the whole thing where Peter Parker throws his costume into the trash. Well, Clint said, "I don't want to be Hawkeye," so he threw it away. So, and some guy basically pulls what is her name? The one, Ryan, whatever her name is, Ryan Wilder, picks up the backpack and says, "Now I'm Batwoman." This person did that. Now, and the whole issue is Captain America fighting and beating the shit out of this guy.
So here's a problem I have. I've got this with a lot of things. They dilute the character whenever they have so many replacements and such. In this case, it's kind of like you have Green Arrow, right? And I think it was Green Lantern. No, it was the other way around. But somebody picks up his bow, and they try to pull and it's not easy. And when you pull a bow back, there's a little bit of resistance and then a give. So there is a way to pull it back properly. And in order to do that and to be making these awesome Green Arrow shots where it splits another arrow or it goes into the barrel of a gun or any of the superhero stuff we ever see, that takes an amazing amount of training. And what ends up happening is it's not special when everybody can fight like Batman. It's not special when everybody could shoot in bow and arrow like Hawkeye.
So here's what they're going. They chose the Native American because it's racist here. No, Native Americans don't want to shoot a bow and arrow because they hunt and stuff, right? That's the crap. The other thing is that if you want to, this isn't the first time that he's done this. He did this with the She-Hulk. Chose some other girl, some other descent, it's going to be the new She-Hulk. It's not Jennifer Walters, it's someone else. And it's a theme he's got going on here. I'm like, if you want to replace Hawkeye, just put Kate Bishop in there instead. Why keep changing the characters,
Let's see, what do we got going on? In fact, I like a lot about those movies, Phase 2 and Phase 3, less surfing, Phase 4, Phase, I don't know, MCU. And Jose saying, "Hello guys, so is Agatha all along any good?" Yeah, it's all right. The first few episodes were very good, and then they were kind of good. This last one was not good, so I hope that's not a trend. I hope they get it back in the next episode. True. Well, actually, the first one was okay. The second one, until that last one, was actually pretty good. True, there was more of a formula from. You talking about DCU or DCEU went straight from maybe 2 movies to the team movie? Yeah, they really should have let it breathe a little bit more. But yeah, it's all right. It's okay. They're redoing Wizard of Oz. This last episode though was not good, where they revealed the boy is Wanda's kid, and that's what everybody knew. So yeah,
I'm going to take a quick second to answer in disguise. I've been watching baseball for 56-7 years, give or take, and I've studied baseball history. Shohei Ohtani might be the best player I've ever seen. I wouldn't have said that a year ago, but good night, nurse. He is unbelievable. I think he also, is guilty of sin of the gambling stuff that they swept under the rug before the season started, but that's beside the point.
So Audrey Plaza, hot in Agatha Harkness?
not everywhere. I mean, yes.
It's like that's like the only pro, like to see, like just mute it and just watch her scenes.
Actually, do that with Megalopolis. You'll enjoy it more.
What?
The movie that came out, nobody went and saw it except for me. It was called Megalopolis, and it's got what's his name, Kylo Ren in it, and it's got Aubrey Plaza and a lot of very sheer things. In one case,
I don't want to see Kylo Ren and sheer things. Gross, bro.
No, her. So yeah, if you're interested in Aubrey Plaza, that's the one to go to. Megalopolis.
Well, I mean, there's
just fast forward it to her scenes. Watch those and then turn that.
Well, isn't she in a lot of
that movie?
movie
Sucked.
I thought she's in a lot of My Old Self, whatever that was you watched. That old thing.
My Old Ass. Well, yeah, but she's I mean, she's a pretty lady. She's a good looking lady. You know that.
I'll just go watch The Office or whatever.
I heard they don't even do her character good. Aubrey is clearly there just to collect the check. Did you watch it? Because you just said I heard, and then you made a statement that says you watched it. And the Joker bombed. What did everyone think about the film? Literally, James. Me and my wife are the only people I've heard like that.
Oh, I guess he just said he heard that she's just there to collect the paycheck, pretty much.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I disagree with that. Absolutely. I think they're more chewing the scenery than anything else. But yeah, I actually think that the Joker 2 was an excellent character study. And the surprising thing is the reactions that I've heard are exactly what the characters are talking about. One straight out says nobody cares about oh goodness, what's the character's name? Not Joker. Arthur. Nobody cares about Arthur. Thank you. They just care about the Joker. And I've heard a lot of he's not the Joker, but for a few scenes in the musical segment.
I mean, if that's what you wanted, sure.
The whole point is finding oneself. Who are you? Are you who you choose to be? Are you who those who know you make you to be? And a lot of what you see when it's like the musical, it's him actually being what other people want. He becomes when you see him the first time, and when they do the music, you see it in the movie, in the preview, where they're sitting at a window and she goes, "Come on, get up, get happy," and he barely goes, and he sings the next line and such, but very small.
For me,
hold on, let me finish my little rant here. The more you hear him, and all the musical segments are in his head, but the more confident, the more Joker-like he becomes, he's louder, he's more boisterous. And then when he finally accepts being the Joker, he's actually singing out loud. But it comes down to, is that who you are? Is that who you were seen to be? And this was the theme of the movie. And I think it turned a lot of people off because the first movie kind of set it up like there's going to be a big Joker movement. The city's going to be in trouble, and maybe Batman's going to come down and save him or something like that. This is not a case where because there's a Joker, there needs to be a Batman. This, once again, it's an Elseworld story. It has nothing to do with the comics. It's only animal. It doesn't even have anything to do with the superhero movies that have the Joker in it. It is literally just its own story.
For me, Joker peaked when he shot the Robert De Niro.
A lot of people feel that way. Yeah, like I said, I have come to respect the fact that I and my wife are the only people who like this film. And yeah, so I was actually able to see the value. I was actually able to see the theme and the story, or maybe I just created one in my head. I don't know, but I was watching the film. I mean, when I came out, I'm acquainted very well with the kids who work at the movie theater. I'm just that guy. I talk to everybody wherever I go.
Oh, God, he's back.
And they asked, yeah, it's very much like that. And they said, so what'd you think? I was like, oh, that fucking movie was brilliant. And you could see the look of shock on their face because they did the preview and all of them thought it sucked. And I told them, I basically laid out what I was talking about. I said, I would love to talk to you guys about this movie. I would like to talk about this movie with anyone who has seen it and hated it to some degree. I think it would be really good. I'm getting sick from this pot smoke. Gil told me don't say anything, but I don't see why I have to throw up every fucking night because somebody wants to get their kid high.
What you just said before about you don't talk to somebody who hate it, and that's a lie, because if I saw it and I hate it, you just bitch at me the whole entire time. Well, you don't get it.
Well, no, I would say you didn't get it, but yeah, I wouldn't say I agree with you. I say I'd have a conversation with you. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul was great. I never saw Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is better than actual Breaking Bad.
Really? I'm going to check it out sometime. I watched Breaking Bad after it had been aired. I was like, okay, let me watch this shit. Well, and it's like, okay, next episode.
So Breaking Bad, like if you watch it like my buddies say, like that one season just dragged when they got the car wash scene, the car thing, it just dragged. But like I binged it, so I was able to watch it. So it just flowed so much better. But Better Call Saul is like, if you love Saul Goodman's character in Breaking Bad, like it delves more into about who he is and how he became that character, and his like basically how the guy's messed up. He's not someone you really want to root for, but everything, it's just like it's such a good storytelling. But they also bring in characters from Breaking Bad. You get to see some of the other brothers in the very beginning. The ones Taco, whatever his name was, and his buddy, his brother, cousin, or like Tuco. I can't remember what they were, but anyway, Nacho. Like you get to see other characters pop in. Even Jesse Pinkman makes an appearance in like one of the final seasons. Okay. So it's really good, but there's no Bryan Cranston though.
Let me get some more here. Is it a remake of an old silent film, Joker 2? I have no idea. Nerdette ranted on Joker 2.
Well, Joker was based off The Man Who Laughs.
Well, yeah, the character.
Yeah, that was a silent film. Yeah.
Joker makes no sense with no Batman. That's the whole point of Joker 1. It does make sense if you can write it well. You can do these things. Once again, there does not have to be one for the other if you're telling the proper story.
For me, Joker was a one and done. They didn't need a sequel, but they decided they want to make money.
You know what? I agree with you. It didn't need a sequel. But there's a lot of movies that are like that got some sequels that were fantastic. Alien didn't need a sequel. Aliens was brilliant. You know, I'm not saying this is equivalent, but the thing is a great one and done sometimes can have a great sequel. I'm interested in watching the Joker as an antagonist, not a sympathetic character, so not interested. I know I'm in the minority. That's okay. Protagonist is a good way to describe the Joker, not hero. He's not, and he's only the protagonist in the fact that he's the lead character. He is a bad guy. Simple.
Joker just killed. Imagine Joker just kills Jason Todd, and like Alfred's like, no, you need to hear his origin story before you judge him.
Michael Taylor is saying it's very dangerous to knock on, so I'm not going to knock on anybody's door at night. And look, I've sent a message. Gail got mad. She read it. I sent a message to the landlords and said, you know, I don't want to be hotbox. What are the fucking rules here? I've looked up even what are the laws in Indianapolis. I mean, why do I have to fucking suffer? You know, I'm supposed to be quiet here. I'm literally getting sick because of this fucking pot.
I kind of agree with Gail because of the situation you're in, you're just gonna piss off the landlord and then you're out.
Yeah, that's what she said. So,
but if you were like paying on time and all stuff, you know, you had money spared up, then I would say something.
But what about
I'd even leave an anonymous tip to the cops.
You would or wouldn't?
I would. Oh yeah.
That's funny because I actually looked how to leave an anonymous tip.
Well,
I mean, was looking that up. So
you can call and be able to say you want it to be an anonymous in the report.
Yeah. Because
Like they, you know,
I don't want to be sick every night, and I'm sick every
Because-
night. I feel I'm getting a headache, and I'm feeling like I'm gonna fucking vomit. And if I do actually feel like I'm gonna hurl, I'm gonna walk out to the fucking truck and I'm gonna vomit on their door handle.
but now that you made a complaint, now if you try to call the cops and stuff, and the landlord gets into all this, does deal with this shit, not only has he lost a tenant that probably pays on time, despite the weed, you know, and now he's gonna get pissed at you. And just like you said, I wouldn't have done anything, wouldn't said anything to the landlord until your situation was golden.
Yeah, I just asked them what the rules.
Because it sounds like the landlord doesn't care as long as he gets paid.
Oh, not even a little bit. They didn't respond about that at all.
Yeah.
El Camino was good. The Breaking Bad spec. Never saw that.
I didn't watch El Camino. My friend said it was kind of boring because it was just like Jesse Pinkman. Who gives a crap about Jesse Pinkman? It's like,
let's see. It was also based on King of Comedy. Yeah, the first one.
yeah.
But oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time here, kids. And apparently, I'm supposed to. I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. I really don't. Now I'm actually getting actively pissed. I want to get out of here so fucking much. I really do. I told Gail I'm willing to break our lease. We've actually found a 2-bedroom mobile. You know, those are actually tract houses where they're pretty. We've had one before. They're pretty big.
I mean,
but if it's got space where I'm not smelling pot, do you smell that? Yeah. It's fucking heavy in here. That bitch has a fucking baby, and she's got a toddler in there getting that shit.
I would call the cops then.
How can you fucking do that to your kid?
Okay, you know what I would do? Go talk to the people that have the track house that you're interested in.
Yeah.
And say, listen, I'm about to be available to rent this because I'm about to be kicked out of the place I'm living now. Will that affect me with you? Because if it doesn't, I'll facilitate this and get my ass kicked out of this one.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say anything, but I would not take the chance because, like I said, it's probably not easy to rent another place if you've just been kicked out of the one you're in. But if you explain it to them, go in and say, I can speed this up.
Because
I was telling Gail, I'm willing to break the lease on this. I really am.
But I would, like I said, I would explain to them if you go to them, like he just said, but also saying, like, I would just don't mention that you're late on rent with them. What I'd say is that the reason you want to get out of it because, well, they got people next door smoking weed, and the landlord doesn't care, and it's making me sick and me headaches.
It's making my daughter sick.
She's got allergies and respiratory problems.
Is the rent comparable?
It's half.
Then do that.
Yeah, God, go make that happen, Aaron.
Tomorrow, go tomorrow.
It's
seriously.
Half, so I'm willing to go and
go tomorrow.
And because even if it's not big enough for all of our stuff, it's half that we could afford that and the storage.
When they come for the rent, say, rent? You don't need no stinking rent.
Yeah. Doing that to a kid called Child Protective Services. I'm actually looking up how to report because, hey, look, your kid, I feel bad for him. I really do. I've seen him. He's a little cute little toddler. He can't be like 2, maybe 3 years old. But in all honesty, I'm fucking sick here, man. Do you get sick? Yeah, it kind of gets a little headache. Yeah. Does it affect your allergies? Yeah. Shit. See, I mean, it's my kid versus hers, and I'm sorry. I don't care if your kid's a toddler. I told an 8-year-old about 2 months ago that if I have a choice between killing you to save my daughter's life, I'm going to do it. Because he was carrying a gun, a toy gun, without the orange thing on the end. And he's pounding on doors, running away, and then coming back. I was like, dude, I said, holy shit, that kid's got a gun. I said, and I ended up calling the cops. I said, I'm far away. I can't tell if it's a real one or it's a fake. So he's going to pound on a door, and somebody's going to have a gun on the other side, and they're going to be a lot more jumpy than I am. That kid's going to end up dead. And I told him, I said, look, if I was more jumpy, if I really expected that you were coming around shooting people, I would have killed you to protect my daughter. I would rather mourn your death than the fact that I killed a kid than mourn my own daughter's. And that's the way I feel about this.
Like I said, go tomorrow. Don't excuses. Don't put it off, because the longer you're late, someone else might take it before you.
He's right.
Let's see. So you're allowed to smoke in your apartments because we are not in ours, and weed is legal here. I actually looked it up. No, you're not, and I think it's because of this reason. In Muncie, from what I read, it's a certain amount, by the way.
Well,
so but they are smoking enough that it's filling up my apartment. I didn't even know who Jesse Pinkman is. Let's see. Do what you got to do. I think I'm going to talk to my wife, Gail, you know her, about going to check out that one place tomorrow.
If she's unavailable, go do it yourself. At least you can your foot's in the door to talk to these people. Know you're interested.
That's suicide to carry around
them yet? In any way? I mean, do they?
No, we saw the listing online, so I want to go check them. Yeah. So Gail's always looking at apartments, and she says, "Oh, here's one." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's go check that out." Jay, they canceled the account because I could not pay it. I just don't have the money.
Yeah, can you lend him 34 cents?
Yeah, about 33. Since you said you're broke.
Yeah. The next though on Tuesday, Jay, you want to help me do an auction on Tuesday? I'm going to be doing an auction on Tuesday. This is I'm trying to get around $250 in order to pay our electricity so they don't turn it off on Wednesday. Gail will be paid on Thursday, where we will be able to pay our rent. And the reason why I'm trying for $250 is right now I've got $180 in the bank, and we also need to put $20 worth of gas in the car to take us for the whole week. Thankfully, everything is only about 5 minutes away in Muncie, Indiana. And of course, food and water and such would be okay. So yeah. So that's the whole point. I think after $250, we'd be able to pay the electric and normal living expenses. Because we could buy like one of those big logs of hamburger. Like at Walmart, they have a big bag of chicken for $5, and then you just buy rice and some soup, and boom, you got a dinner.
Yeah. So after we're done here, go talk to Gail if she's still awake, and then go tomorrow morning, drive over there, or call that place
for half the rent. It will be smaller than what we've got here, but I'm willing to, if we can get away from this.
Who cares if you're all sharing one bedroom? Right? someone could take the living room. Call a couch.
Well, I actually like my wife enough to sleep in the same bed, but if with 2 rooms, Elizabeth can take the other. It would just mean that the living room would become this. Right now I'm in the dining room. But yeah, we can work that out. I mean, it's intentional in the sense that they made it look real. What are we talking about?
Rhaegar is talking about. Him and Doc, they're having a conversation without you.
Well, when I was a kid, even I even had to tell me I knew real looking toy guns not to mess around with. Yeah. Yeah, Jay's saying you guys only like me for my 33 cents. If it improves your life,
Jay, I like it. Jay, that's not true. If you had $1.33, I'd like you more.
Yeah. My thinking is if it is around half, it's probably more like we're paying what $8.50 here.
So it's like right around.
He said it was like $4.50. So yeah, it's almost half. But the thing is we would be able to put some away and build back what a bit of a cushion. So then when we do decide to move to a bigger place, we have that cushion. Yeah. But that's where we're sitting, and that's where we're standing now. So the hat is out. The Ko-Fi link is in the description there. PayPal is MediaMadmen1@gmail.com. I am getting better at asking. I used to have night sweats about asking for money and such. So
I never did that. I always asked my parents for money. You got this?
Yeah. My parents have stepped up in more ways than they need
No,
to.
but I'm just saying, as a kid, I never had a problem asking.
Oh, okay. my parents are at a point where they're like, well, you can't take it with you. My brothers, my youngest brother actually is getting paid to take care of them. And Jack's lived with them all their life. So they're like, oh, you never ask for help here. And so they threw us some money.
Here's something from MLF football.
Okay.
Just in, Steeler legends Franco Harris, Mean Joe Green, and Jerome Bettis all just issued statements supporting Kamala Harris for president. And here's the thing. Franco Harris died in 2022. Now, we all know the joke, how many times we've heard that dead people vote Democrat.
Yeah.
And they just walk right into this. Then he said, oh, no. It was his family that issued the statement. So that's... I thought that made me laugh.
Yeah, well, that is a true fact, though. Franco is dead.
For the past few years, my dad's voted Republican.
Yeah. There's that joke. My grandmother died and now she's a Democrat.
I mean, I'm amazed that she can get to the poll from her garage, Eric. To vote.
It is a thing.
Well, what's that response? He jokes about how he can't find his mom all the time.
Oh, wow. One of the major forecasters have Harris winning in a landslide now. I don't get it.
Those polls have been going on since the very beginning. They've said that Trump is in. I don't believe polls.
I said the thing I saw today makes me very, very worried.
I saw a video today where I forget what it was, but there was a news group, and they went out to interview people who were coming back from voting or coming out from voting early, and they were asking, "Who did you vote for?" And nobody said Harris. No one. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing steal. We know it's coming, but it will be an amazing steal.
What's going to be interesting when you see all the people there in North Carolina up in the mountains voted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, did you see that video today when he was working in McDonald's somewhere?
It was Pennsylvania somewhere.
Pennsylvania, okay, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
People were tweeting out and saying like, yeah, dude, I love Trump. He gave me an extra nugget in my 6-piece nugget. and they also said the fries has been the best they've tasted there ever before. Probably because. Really? Well, it's probably because the guy who actually knows what he's doing, where it's just kids don't care.
Well, Trump went to the Steeler game tonight, and I think they said NBC showed him for about 4 seconds. Guess you should have gone as Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Yes, by the way, I don't even know who won that game. Last time I was watching the Dodger game. Did the Jets win? Or?
Oh, no, Steelers pounded them.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. All right, whatever.
Throw them out of the game. And MK, enjoy yesterday because the Dodgers are gonna steamroll New York.
I disagree with you there, but we'll see what happens. I don't think I should say the Mets aren't the Yankees. That's all I'll say. Speaking from past experience,
they are. Think about it. They scored 10 runs in each of their 4 wins. The Dodgers don't have a pitching staff right now. They have no starters.
Yeah, I know.
I don't see anybody slowing them down. And I said, if you're going to get them this year because they're going to go out and spend another $1 billion on starting pitching, even with all the guys they're stockpiling on the IL. And I said, I think this could be the first of about 5 or 6 in a row for the Dodgers. I don't know how you beat them. I really don't.
5 or 6 in a row. I don't know about that. I mean, look, obviously, Ohtani and Yamamoto's great additions, but
Yamamoto's terrible. He may not be in the rotation next year.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, like you said before the season started, they spent what, over $1 billion on those two alone.
Yeah, and they're going to probably go out in this offseason and sign Corbin Burns and Blake Snell. And that's with Glass now, Stone, what's his name? Yeah, Gonsolin, Dustin May are all. I don't even count Kershaw. He's old, but I mean, all 6 of those guys are sitting on the IL right now, and they still just rampaged into the World Series.
I think honestly, going into that last series, I mean, the one that just finished, the Dodgers Mets. You know, I'm not. You know, respect to the Mets and everything, but at the same time, that last series, you know, let's be honest, the Phillies were pretty much dead. You know, I mean, they looked like they weren't there. You know what I mean? So when they went to the Dodgers, it's like everyone's like, oh, popping up the Mets, the Mets this, Mets this. And it's like, okay, well, the Dodgers aren't the Phillies. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I see this situation. The Dodgers took 6 games to beat the Mets, and the Yankees, you know, they took over. What was it? Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting. You know, I don't think anyone's going to sweep the other one. I'll tell you that much. You know?
It is according to the temperature. It's 55 degrees. It feels a lot colder out there.
Really? It's only 65 here.
Yeah, it's.
I got Florida weather, buddy.
Oh my gosh, it is.
It was 80 today.
It's very chilly, but I'm getting fresh air. I wish I had a longer cord on my fan so I could get that in there and just blow in the fresh air to try to fight that shit. But
so what you do now? You fight. You go online and get those stink bombs.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I thought about that. I really did.
Fart spray. You just spray it.
Yeah. Wimp, it's 47 degrees. Okay, Maranya, let's go to Florida in August.
Hey. If I can't breathe, you can't breathe. I don't care if I'm going to spray that fart spray so it sprays everything.
Ah, goodness.
Is that a raccoon walking behind you? No.
Well, yeah. I guess that could be happening.
I don't see a screen. That's why I was wondering, like, he's got a one.
I'll say this, yeah, MK, you need Stanton to stay hot. And the Dodgers got a 500 average for a 7-game series or 6-game series out of Tommy effing Edman. Yeah, Max Muncy gets on base 12 times in a row. I mean, I said they're unstoppable.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious to see what I think the Dodgers are. I'm not saying that they're a bad team, obviously. Obviously, they're a great team. But you know, I don't think anybody really expected the Yankees to get to the World Series this year, considering that they flunked.
Everybody thought the Dodgers would. And San Diego almost had them, and then the Dodgers through shutouts in 3 of the next 4 games without any real starting pitching other than Flaherty. So that's scary. They're
Flaherty.
Oh, hold on. I was looking something up, and it's like, "Hi, I'm a real person. Do you have a question?" Okay.
Hi, I am also not a real person.
No, it says I am. So okay.
I actually had a question for Engleton because you like all kinds of movies and stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So there were 2 westerns that I saw recently, and I thought it would be a good, a pretty good matchup. I think personally. So you guys saw Tombstone, right? 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think which one would you say would overall the better, more developed, better story, everything? Movie with Tombstone that version of Tombstone going up against the 2016 version of The Magnificent Seven.
Tombstone.
I like Tombstone, but I think I may give the edge to Magnificent Seven on that one. Like it was just
the 2016.
2016, yeah. It had Denzel Washington.
I got it. I actually own that on DVD. It's a great version of it. I actually like it better than the original. It's one of the few remakes that are better than
really.
Yeah,
Charles Bronson's in the original.
I know he is, but I'm sorry, but the remake's just better written, and better acted.
Was Tombstone a remake or no? That wasn't a remake. Joe.
Well, it's a retelling of Wyatt Earp of the OK.
You know
Corral
what?
and
Then
so
I
forth.
hope then if they make a remake of Casablanca, maybe I'll like that better.
But here's they did. It's called Barbed Wire, and the thing is Tombstone is just it's such a classic. It's hard to go against that because nobody's talking about Magnificent Seven, but Tombstone's been talked about for 30 years.
I'll be your Uncle Barry.
Yeah. The one thing though I would also say is it's a different time. We were watching movies over and over and over and over again back then. And I think the amount of content we have doesn't actually keep that open for people. I think people are more likely to watch a new movie than one movie over and over and over again.
All right, here's one that'll be more fair. How the West Was Won or Horizon, Part 1.
Ooh, you know what? I actually bought that for $1. I found it in a flea market booth for. Oh no, mine was Once Upon a Time.
A lot of good actors in that one.
Yeah, but goodness gracious, I really did like that Horizon movie. It was pretty damn good. And Seven Samurai one slick, that is freaking brilliant.
From the 80s, the Japanese one.
Seven Samurai? No, that's like 60s, 50s.
No, there's an 80s one called Seven Samurai. It was like a martial arts kind of like thing. Hong Kong film.
But Westworld, the movie was pretty damn good, and the TV show, the first season was very good. Now Westworld 2 kind of follows what was the other one called? It wasn't Westworld. It was called Future World, I think. And season 2 of Westworld kind of follows that. It's all right. It's okay. Both of them are just okay. Magnificent Seven is a masterpiece. It's my second favorite Western, says Austin. It's not bad. It's just I prefer the new one. Let's see, Michael Taylor. If you mean the show, season 1 of Westworld was primetime television done in atmospheric, and then it fell off hard. The King of Siam playing the Psycho Robot. Yes. Shall we dance? 1, 2, 3. Yes. If you're talking about King and I, yep. I couldn't take the movie seriously. It was like a cartoon from Looney Tunes, but again, fun. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, Westworld. Okay. A different take on the John Wayne Western, The Shootist. Wayne was dying during the filming of Cancer, and just like the character in the film. The Shootist is brilliant. Have you seen The Shootist, Eric? I know you're a classic movie fan. Oh, he's muted out. Okay, yeah, I know he's a classic movie fan. This is his conversation here. But no, The Shootist, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite John Waynes. It's one of my favorite Westerns. Yul Brynner, thank you, Rhaegar, for the name. I think Magnificent Seven is one of those classics that are great for working out our shrunken attention spans. It's very slow, but so good that I didn't even have the urge to get my phone out. I do think the pacing. Look, hold on just a sec. I got a cat. Come on. Hold on.
Hardcore Harry. You mean Hardcore Henry? There's a Hardcore Henry movie that came out. That was a first person like movie, and they had like told people playing like doing parkour stunts for the movie. There was that one.
So I have a soft heart, and when it was 30 degrees out, I let this cat in, and now she just thinks it's her house. And so she came in and she's looking around. We let her kind of stay in the basement when it was freezing. So by we, I mean Gail. I put a plate of food and told her to get there, but Gail keeps inviting her in. So I opened the door here, and she just thinks it's time to come in. So there you go. But anyway, back to the movies. Hey, the movies.
Yeah, and good thing. How about this one? So which Shogun was better, the original series or the new one?
I actually have not watched the new one yet. I really want to see
Oh,
it.
you haven't seen it? Oh, okay. I thought you
No.
saw it. Okay, never mind.
No, I didn't. I want to. I remember liking Shogun, but aside from a couple of scenes like him visiting after he's been in Japan for a while, people he knows from England come in and they're talking, and when he walks away, he feels icky because they're not washed. So he just takes off all the. I remember that scene. That's all I remember from the original. But I remember it was must-watch TV back then. I just don't remember the details.
I remember
the miniseries, says Patrick Sargent. Oh, going ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying when I was in school as a kid, they actually showed us the edited 2-hour version of the original Shogun. Yeah, but my father said, that version sucks. You got to watch the 10-hour version.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. I remember I always wanted to get it on VHS back in the day, but the box set was like $200. So yeah, no, I'm good. Better check on that cat. You may get a dividend of kittens. Yeah, that's true. Wait, am I getting another one? Okay.
She's dragging a corpse of another animal.
I know, right? Go.
All right, I got this one out there real quick. Elon Musk. I'm going to buy Dominion next and incorporate that technology to Tesla. I can make 100 cars a day and 60 more will show up overnight.
That's awesome. That is funny. So we were talking. No. We were talking about movies, some classic films. Which one do you prefer? The Magnificent Seven or Tombstone, the remake of Magnificent Seven? Have you seen it?
Who are you talking to?
Eric.
Oh, I have not.
No. Let's see. Rio Bravo, I like as well. I do. Okay, so how about Shoot Us? Did you ever see that one?
Yes.
Yeah. What is your favorite John Wayne film? Or let's say top 3. Top 3 John Wayne, or top 5 if you want. I don't care. Everybody could do this in the chat too if you're John Wayne fans.
Wow.
That's
Searchers, Rio Bravo, Shoot Us, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And you know what I liked? It was in the early 70s. I think he played a cop, McHugh, I think. He got off his horse and played a cop or a detective. Oh,
goodness gracious! Yes, I know.
I think it was called McHugh.
Okay, I know it starts with a Mick. Yeah. You named a couple of mine. Rio Bravo. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is my favorite John Wayne movie. The Shootist is in there.
True Grit. I haven't seen that since I was a kid, but yeah,
I like True Grit. You didn't mention El Dorado. That's really good. That's one of my favorites.
El Dorado.
Well, the whole thing is John Wayne's got more than top 5, so it's there's.
But I'm not a Western guy, so he's made a bunch I've never seen. So there's
Brannigan. And there's also Brannigan. And I agree with Jay, the Cowboys. I love the Cowboy. The first time I saw that with my dad and my granddad, and they laughed their ass. I didn't even know what he was talking about, but it stuck with me because my granddad and my father laughed their asses off when the guy's sitting there and he's black guy's about to be hung, and he says, "You have any last words?" And the black guy looks around and goes, "Dear Lord, please forgive me for all the men I've killed." And he looks, "And all the men I'm about to." And I says, I didn't get it when I was a kid, but because my grandfather and my dad had such a reaction, that line has always stuck with me. So every time I watch it, it's like, that's what I'm waiting for. I would also say a movie that is worth watching is called Big Jake. He's a divorced man, and his son gets kidnapped, Or his grandson gets kidnapped, so he and his estranged son have to go and get him. It is an amazing movie. Amazing movie. Top 5, John Wayne says Maranya. The Shootist, The Quiet Man. That's a good one too. McClintock and True Grit and Hatari. That is awesome.
Oh yeah, he was in Hollow West was 1 too as well.
No. The Alamo, The Searchers, Fort Apache, Hondo, and Rio Grande, says Austin. Those are good. Big Jake is good. Yep, I just mentioned that. Eastwood would be High Plains Drifter and Pale Rider.
You know what's great about El Dorado? James can't fire a gun, but he can throw a knife. And as soon as I started watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Expendables.
Which one was they ended up making? It was John Carpenter, one of his earliest, the one where they're stuck in the jail and they're protecting like a criminal or something, and a whole bunch. And there was a John Wayne. It's based on a John Wayne movie, and I can't put the two together.
All I know is that the Robert Mitchum was drunk in the jail cell. When they were
it's the one with Dean Martin, I think.
Oh, that's Rio Bravo.
Okay, Rio Bravo. All right.
I think that's Dean Martin, yeah, in Rio Bravo 1.
The Alamo is my favorite Western and my 5th favorite movie of all time, Austin. No. I like that version. I gotta say though, I love the Dennis Quaid version that came out in like 2009 that nobody went to see. That was done very well. Assault on Precinct 13. That was the movie I was thinking about.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like the remake.
Sands of Iwo Jima and I've never seen the War Wagon. I think that needs to be changed. Yeah, don't get too comfortable, Cat.
I still love True Grit. He's like, what are you doing? The boy when he's on swim. He's like, what? You haven't learned? He's like, oh no, chases her.
Well, I plan to bring you guys in dead or alive. That's brave talk for a one-eyed fat man. Fill your hands, you son of a bitch. And he goes,
I think the worst one I watched was In Harm's Way. If that's what I'm thinking of what is.
Which one?
With Kirk Douglas. Yeah.
No,
oh, In Harm's Way.
In Harm's Way? Yeah, I don't remember that one at all.
That was Kirk Douglas was basically, he was, John Wayne was a retired guy. He was promoted to Rear Admiral, and then gets a second chance to prove himself to the Japanese. And Kirk Douglas, his girlfriend had been stepping out on him with another guy, and they both died in their car when Pearl Harbor was attacked. And he messed up, becomes an alcoholic, and he's working with John Wayne, and Kirk Douglas just plays a despicable character for the whole movie. And I was just like, and then John Wayne's trying to get have a relationship with his son who wants nothing to do with him. His parents are divorced stuff, and he doesn't play. He hit his dad. It was just like it was like, what is this? Yeah.
What's a classic movie you got to see in a movie theater that you're glad you saw it the way God did?
You really want my answer?
Huh?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
That's like
that is because you weren't around for the original run, were you?
I got to see that. That was in the theaters. I was like,
I would not mind going to see that again on the big screen. It's been a long time. I kind of they were showing all the Batmans, and I feel a little bad I didn't go see them. It's been a long damn time.
It's a lot of movies. Every summer there's always an older movie being played. No.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2, they're saying.
They had Rear Window at the Amazon at the AMC last month. And
put the camera on the cap, bro. We want some best. Let's look at.
You can see my dirty ass. Come here. Come on. This apparently is the new addition to the family.
Oh, you got an orange cat.
Yeah. I think she is somebody's cat because
they might be chipped. You never know.
I think she's somebody's cat because of the way she acts. Like she responds to my like the tongue clicking. She responds immediately to that.
Yeah.
So
chances are she got loose. So they might be. If you haven't seen any posters anywhere, any bulletin boards, people looking for a cat.
No, haven't.
Then she was kicked out.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting answers in the thing. How about you, Eric? Have you seen any classic movies, or MK? Have you seen classic movies on the big screen recently? We have Patrick saying Ghostbusters 2. Anyone ever see The Last Castle? Yes. Ghostbusters 2, let's see, 1989. Let's see, classic movie that I saw in theaters. Yes, I got to see that as well. I'm so happy I did. Casablanca, I saw that. Double Indemnity, I got to see that.
Somebody's baby.
Every movie I saw as a kid, because they're old enough to be classics now.
Yeah,
But
I'm talking about recent.
we don't get, well, no, and this was still years ago when I got to see North by Northwest. I just, they don't do a whole lot of those around here.
Well, if my theater shows North by Northwest, I'll give you a heads up.
Well, I said I wouldn't mind seeing it in a theater again, but there's some other things I would like to see. But the reality is, we live in a world now where I said, I'm 5 feet away from a 55-inch screen.
Yeah,
Rager, we're talking. Sorry,
when I was a kid, 19. I mean, my computer screen is bigger than the TV I grew up with.
Rager, we're talking about what's a classic movie that you saw in a theater. Like, it could be something for your porn. I saw Ghostbusters because I had never seen the original one in the theater. I only ever saw it on VHS. So
they've been playing classic Halloween slashers this year, like Friday the 13th and Scream. I've come to realize I'm not just a slasher guy. I'm more of a monster and supernatural horror guy.
Oh.
I do enjoy the Friday the 13th. Those are so freaking bad. Midway for Henry. That's a good movie, too. I got that on DVD as well.
The new one?
Yeah, I like a lot of war movies, says One Slick. That's a good question, too. What's your favorite war film? Englandine is going to start clicking his tongue like a witch doctor to his cat to teach him how to do cat burglaries. Yeah, I'll be like Willard. Rip it, rip it, rip it. Let's see, the remake of Cape Fear. I can actually bring this one. It's right next to me over here. The one with Robert De Niro. I actually like that better than the original.
There's two war movies I like: Enemy at the Gate, and then I also like Saving Private Ryan. But I also, it depends on my mood. I might just go watch Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
They're all three of those are fun movies.
See, that's something I do like. Modern war movies better than. I mean, I do like The Longest Day. Don't get me wrong, but modern war movies are shot like war movies. The other ones, kabam! Jimmy, tell Linda that that whole thing. It's just overly dramatic.
Can't you just name any Elvis movie and that's a war movie?
As far as Elvis, Viva Las Vegas all day, baby. And Margaret in that little yellow outfit as she's
I would say
to her. Yeah.
If you haven't seen Easter Condors, it's pretty much like the Dirty Dozen, but it's a Sammo Hung led team going in to rescue these people. It was pretty good.
I didn't even know Out of the Past was Against All Odds, Glenzer.
Yeah.
Tarzan animated over the Ron Eli movies. Yeah. But I did watch the Ron Eli because they had them as Saturday specials. It was like after the cartoons, they would show Tarzan shorts. Kelly's Heroes is brilliant. Patton is amazing. I like that one, but Kelly's Heroes, really a lot of fun. So what do you think of Bridge Over River Kwai? That one was actually pretty good. Wait, which one was the one with Alec Guinness? I want to know, is a bridge too far or was it a bridge over? I think it was the bridge, yeah. That's the one where Alec Guinness, he plays this stuffy English, he's the English commander, and he feels like the only way that they're going to get through this, you got to go by the book, and then at the end, he's the one that actually, because he realizes that isn't the way to go. It's been a while. I could just be summing it up wrong a little bit, but yeah. I've been on a classic horror sci-fi kick lately. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Last Man on Earth, The Thing, the original. All those are fun. I like the Last Man on Earth. It's Vincent Price's movie. Yeah, it's really done well. Apocalypse Now, it's all right.
See, I miss having a cat. I grew up with a cat, but now I'm like, now you're going, meow, meow, shut up.
Yeah.
Trying to watch stuff.
Well, I'm wondering why she went into a dark bath. Okay, here she comes. She's doing the exploring. I won't let her go past a certain place. You know, she's good for here. I got a bird upstairs, and I'll kill that cat before it gets near the bird.
Yeah, and good that I got one for you. So, which movie? How about what movies can you list offhand, or if maybe if you have to think about where the sequel was actually better than the original? Not necessarily sequels, just the second movie.
Just the second movie doesn't have to be the entire thing.
Yeah, just like the sequel, like just better or much better than the
Okay,
first one.
I'm going to start off, and I don't know which one this is, but I did enjoy Blondie Goes to College better than Blondie. All right, that being said, that's the last time I'm going to be cute about things. Sequels that were better. You know, a lot of people say Godfather 2.
Yeah, that's debatable. I've heard a lot of people debate.
I like the Godfather 1 better.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, it was better than Star Wars. Aliens is better than Alien. Terminator 2 is better than Terminator. I might skip something, so I apologize if I do. I like Terminator 2 better than Terminator. What else came out? That was
You know, if Glenn, I never thought of that as a sequel of sorts, but Bride of Frankenstein.
It is a sequel.
Yes, Bride of Frankenstein is a better. If you're going to count it as a sequel, Bride of
that's
Frankenstein.
a sequel, huh? Okay,
It pretty much is a sequel. It's the same guy, Frankenstein.
I know, but for some reason I never thought of it in those terms for that.
I like Chamber of Secrets better than the Sorcerer's Stone.
I would say, for me personally, I'm going. Well, that's great. We're talking about sequels.
Joker 2 better than the. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say
I did like The Dark Knight better than Batman Begins. So
yeah. Same here, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Child's Play, I hear a lot of people debate. Child's Play too.
Well, I mean, there's
T2
was enjoyable, but I still like T1. It was much more of like a more thriller.
Gail's the same way. She says she likes 1 because it's more of a horror film, and 2 is more of an action film. You can say the same thing about Aliens.
2 was like I'm watching Last Action Hero.
Okay. Winter Soldier, that's another one. No. And Spider-Man 2 was better than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1. Evil Dead 2 is better than Evil Dead. Speaking of Raimi movies. No. Come on. You're going to have to go out. You keep trying to get past those boxes. You should go sit on your towel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a hot take. I'm probably, maybe unpopular opinion, Back to the Future 2. I actually enjoyed a little bit more than the first one.
Dawn of the Dead. That's another one.
I don't agree, but there you go. Dawn of the Dead is better than
that's fine. Everybody,
Night of Living. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I just disagree.
Whoa,
I like Predator 2 over Predator, says One Slick. And Patrick is saying Home Alone 2. See, that's a cool thing. I disagree with those. I think Predator was better than Predator 2, but I like Predator 2.
Okay.
I just love crazy time travel.
Go on ahead, Eric. What were you saying?
Wrath of Khan. Henry, I think that's
hands down. I think all of us can agree on that one.
And I liked the first Star Trek because I didn't think we'd ever get something like that. But yeah, Wrath of Khan was much better.
Yeah, and by the way, I do agree also. Which one did I say? Friday the 13th 2 is better than Friday the 13th, but I do not agree that Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is better than the first one. No.
Breaking 2?
Yeah. Breaking 2 is better than, the Electric Boogaloo is better than the original.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
I've seen some people say they like Halloween 2 better than the original Halloween, but that could maybe debatable.
I don't agree. You can even try to watch it as one, but also Henry's got another one. Road Warrior's better than Mad Max.
Now, in fairness to, like, we talk about Road Warrior, or there's one that was mentioned earlier. I got to remember which one. The second movie, like Evil Dead, is it? The first one were made on a shoestring.
Yeah,
and they also
then based on the success, and you can say the same thing about Terminator. But Terminator is probably the best example of a movie that went from basically like a college project-looking film in some regards to a blockbuster. But there's still a great reverence for the first one because of how well it was done on that tiny budget.
Yeah, Actually, I would go with Road Warrior as well. Mad Max is an okay film,
Did somebody say
and it was
Spider-Man?
filmed for like 35 cents in a Pez dispenser.
Well,
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
But Road Warrior, that was pretty sharp.
So
Yeah,
Spider-
that's kind of, that's
so-
my point.
Did somebody
Yeah.
actually say that Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock is better than the Green Goblin?
Oh, fuck yes. I'll say it every day, twice on
What?
Sunday. It is. Yeah, it is Sunday. So let
I
me
can see
say it
it being
again. Yes.
debatable. Yeah.
Wait, that's the guy. Like literally, like Peter Parker's photo by Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So like, then you see it's Peter Parker under the mask. Like you telling me that someone's not gonna go and run and be like, "Yo, bro, Parker, your photos," you know?
Yeah.
You guys think that Batman Returns, Rhaegar, you actually think Batman Returns is better than 89? I mean,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I watch
I
them all.
mean,
Batman,
I think
I
that's
will
both
watch Batman
actually, yeah.
Returns. I watch Batman Returns every year. I don't think I watch any of the others, but then again, I watch it at Christmas time.
I'll just say this: Kitty, Michelle Pfeiffer. Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
In defense of, yes, good stuff. I like Danny DeVito as the Penguin. You know, I did what they
Yeah.
did with.
I like the multiple villains kind of take too. That's kind of
Did not. I think they kind of went overboard, but hey, you know, if it's your thing, it's your thing, right? Go figure. You know, I liked Batman Forever though better than Batman Returns. But yeah, on the second one, I think we named a couple of them: Wrath of Khan, The Road Warrior, Evil Dead 2.
oh
I
yeah,
think
the Good, Bad, and
leaps
Ugly.
bounds above their
People
original.
say that the Good, Bad, and the Ugly is better than the original.
Yeah.
Some of
What was the high point? No. It was the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. It was the man with the shit. Fistful of dollars.
Fistful
And
of
then a few
Dollars.
dollars more and the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Yeah.
somebody said Top Gun Maverick. I don't
Ooh, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Oh, Color of Money. Talked about last night.
Yeah, better than Hustler.
Better than the Hustler.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, the Blob the 1980 Blob is not a sequel. It's a remake. Now, if you want to go that route, remakes better than the originals. Yes, the Blob is one of them. It's leaps and bounds better. The Thing, of course, always wins that.
Fright Night.
Fright. You know what? I can't argue. I love the original. I was 15
Jerry.
when the original came out.
Oh my
but
god, Colin Farrell is Jerry.
Colin Farrell kicks ass in
Now, again, now, is it fair to compare remakes with 30 plus years of technology advantages? Because there's, you know, the Thing from Another World was a masterpiece. For
yes. Well, the thing, yeah, I like it better, but I do recognize the original as being an excellent film.
So I mean, of course, it's not fair, but you can't deny that you don't like it better than the original.
I'll tell you what. Here's one that's only about.
I can't. I haven't seen the second. I've seen
one movie that's it's an amazing remake, and it's about 20 years separated by the original. Is the Ten Commandments? I brought it up earlier. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and they made a silent one in like the 1920s, 1930s.
Oh,
and then Cecil B. DeMille does his. I miss movies like the Ten Commandments.
Okay, there's a silent Ben-Hur. There's a silent Wizard of Oz.
Did anybody bring up Lethal Weapon 2 or
Ooh, that is better? Yeah.
Or Desperado?
Instead of El Mariachi. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's Goldfinger, which was the second Bond movie.
Now there you go. That's another one. You're looking at a list right now.
I am looking at a list right now because I couldn't. There's so many I can't remember.
Oh, by all means, read them off if you want.
Friday the 13th Part 2. People are saying that. Toy Story 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Goldfinger? Does it really fit with what we're talking about? No, not.
I want to say because Bond is they're not really sequels.
A series.
Bond
is a series, but with very rare exception, every movie is a movie unto itself.
It is because I don't think they've ever addressed.
Right, like I have that much more trouble calling them sequels. I say they're a series.
Yeah,
of movies.
Lord of the
But okay, hold on. Let me get the definition, because to me a series would be like the original Star Wars trilogy, where it told one story, or the Lord of the Rings, because that tells one story.
Okay, a series of movies, because I
Okay,
said
I
each
gotcha.
one is basically a reset. You know, whereas Star Trek, the Star Wars second movie picked up where the first one left off.
Yeah.
I don't know that anything in a Bond movie ever referenced anything from a previous one.
Well, okay, no,
But
actually,
the I can answer this. For
I
Your
can answer
Eyes
this.
Only referenced the wife that got killed in
In Honor Majesty's Secret Service.
thank you,
Well,
Honor Majesty's.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
no.
okay, but not, I mean, not during the Connery era. I mean, there's basically. Like
I'm going to tell you right now, Daniel Craig era, I did the same thing with Vespa. With
Yeah.
Vesper.
Oh, but now they've kind of done. They kind of got out of that. But as far as like the older ones, I think that they were basically like just 5 movies, 5 standalone movies.
Yeah,
Then
that's
6 if you count the one we went back after in '71.
nothing. Never say never again.
Well, no, remember he also came back for one more after Lazenby, and then he quit again.
Oh,
They got
Diamonds
back
Are
for more.
Forever.
Would you
is the
consider
one. Yeah.
do you consider Dawn of the Planet of the Apes a sequel to the James
Yeah.
Franco one?
Oh, the James.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, that's
It was very loosely tied together, but it was
no, those are all sequels. They're telling the same story.
Yeah, the original 5 movies did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michael Taylor's bringing up Two Jakes was a sequel to Chinatown. Chinatown
Yeah.
was way.
How to Train
better.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
What those movies are excellent, by the way. So are the Hotel Transylvanias.
Yeah,
Austin is saying that,
Tron.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm saying once I brought up Tron Legacy.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah,
That is
I like that one better. Yeah, that's a good one.
But the silent 10 Commandments was about 10 or 20 minutes of Exodus, and the rest being 20th century morality tale about a couple who doesn't listen to lessons of the Bible.
So there's one that nobody brought up, and I am kicking myself for not thinking of this. You remember Manhunter came out? Then there's a sequel.
The Red Dragon, yeah.
No. The sequel was Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's actually that would be if you go by characters. I mean, technically it was kind of a reboot, but yeah.
Yeah.
I like the original War of the Worlds, says Henry, better than Tom Cruise. All right. I mean, I watched that one about 10 times before the Tom Cruise came out. I like the original.
Actually, I guess Goldfinger wasn't the second. It was from Rush Up in Love.
Mm-hmm. The remake that's good is Dread. And then we have, let's see, the 80s Planet of the Apes movies were something.
National Treasure 2. There's that one.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is in a
Austin,
sequel.
did you mean 70s? Because the series started in 68.
Yeah.
And went through the mid 70s. Then
Yeah,
there was
and
that less than successful TV show.
And then I'm wondering, is it sequel or reboot? Because when you're bringing up stuff like Godzilla -1, that seems more rebootish. But they do a lot of Godzilla movies where it just seems like, it's a new one. It doesn't have anything to do with the rest. But no.
Yes.
Nobody would ever bring this up, and I don't think I would be. Yeah, I would definitely be in the minority. But I go through phases where I liked. Remember the Kolchak movies, Night Stalker, Night Strangler.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I like the Night Strangler a little better because I was so fascinated by the whole underground city thing that they did with it. That it's a hard call because they're both outstanding. I don't know how they just couldn't make any of that happen in the series, but I digress.
So what movies need a remake is what Henry is asking. I'm a different breed of cat. I don't want to see a remake of Casablanca or Rear Window. Or
they did do a
like
Rear
that.
Window, didn't they already?
Yeah, with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Those were done perfect. Those are as good as you get.
I would say no. I would say the other one was actually Disturbia.
Yeah, Disturbia.
Disturbia was Rear Window also. You're right.
Yeah.
I would rather see like Food of the Gods done well, or because that movie was crap, or Day of the Triffids, or maybe something that was an almost, it's almost there, but it didn't quite make it.
Patrick Sargent is bringing up Rocketeer, but I don't want Disney anywhere near it.
Not
Sorry.
right now. Yeah, that's a be
And
careful. What you,
if you did the Rocketeer, do it as a black and white series.
but the
That'd be
Black
great.
Hole from Disney, I think that could do with a remake.
Context.
I think that could be done with a remake. What are you chasing at?
Yeah.
boy?
Oh yeah, the Green
I wouldn't mind
Hornet,
seeing the Wraith be remade, honestly.
the Spirit.
Yeah. It's just why make the remake the good ones? Let's get some of those that
And
just
that's
were
the thing.
a
There's
little
so
bit
many-
off.
That's how I feel about the MCU. They just keep trying to remake the same movie over and over again, and it gets boring after a while because they don't understand
Shadow.
what made it great in the first place.
Yeah, I'm really surprised nobody's gotten a bright idea to remake something like Citizen Kane.
I don't think anyone know how to.
They made a nudie superhero movie out of Casablanca. That kills me every time.
Yeah, wasn't A Clockwork Orange like very controversial when it came out?
When it came out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like there was some things.
Yeah, well, there's a very violent depiction of rape in the movie.
Yeah.
do you think
A
they'll do?
lot of violence.
Do you think they'll ever do a remake of the Bourne Identity and all that stuff?
Ooh.
Oh, eventually, yeah. They did remake Day of the Troop. Really? I did not know that. Okay. But yeah, the Clockwork Orange is still kind of
Well,
controversial.
talking about sequels still, do you consider
Which-
U.S. Marshals better than The Fugitive?
Fuck no.
I was gonna say, make sure.
Yeah. Okay, so here he brought something up because I am not a huge fan of not Francis Ford Coppola. Who were we talking about? The other guy did The Shining. And
Stanley
did
Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. Yeah, I'm not a big Kubrick fan. I think he's a hit and miss director. When he hits, he hits, but when he misses, he whiffs it. So here's something. You could go both ways on this one. A director that everybody thinks is bad, but you like, and everybody likes, but you think, nah, it's not my cup of tea. Either or both, whichever way you want to answer that. Because Kubrick is everybody tells me those movies are good, but he's only got a couple that actually are. And the other one, I guess if I'm going the other side, the director, everybody else says, no. I got to tell you, probably Mick G. I like Charlie's Angels. There's a couple of movies that people say he's really bad at that I actually like.
I mean, I kind of feel like that about Zack Snyder and Michael Bay. Like there's
Yeah.
some movies from them that I do like. So I mean, I could understand if somebody has issues with them, but I don't understand the hate where it's like, oh, they suck, they're horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. They made some good movies. I mean, I don't, but whatever.
Michael
you know.
Bay. Yeah, Patrick Sargent's calling out Michael Bay on that. No. Get away
Did
from
Dirty Harry have a sequel? Like it's been a while since
Dirty Harry. Yes, that was yeah. You
Was it as
had
good as
Dirty
this one?
Dirty
It's
Harry,
better.
Dirty Harry 2. You had oh goodness, what was it? The Deadpool. What was Sudden Impact? Was a Dirty Harry movie. Help me out here, Eric. I know you know some more.
What?
Was the Enforcer a Dirty Harry film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So yeah, there were a couple of Dirty Harry.
Wasn't the Deadpool the last Dirty Harry movie?
Yeah, that's the one with Jim Carrey playing the rock star that gets killed.
That's right.
Jim Carrey was in that. Wow, that's
Yes, well, it's like
No.
1989. It was.
Nope.
It-
You're
I
gonna
was
have to
sitting
go
here.
out.
You're talking to the cat, not us.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, this has been fun, but I have to get up in the morning, so I think I'm going to.
Oh, we could
Chop
shut it.
all that.
We've been on for 2 hours. It's been a fun hangout. We'll try to get the covers tomorrow. So please join us for that 10:30. And thank you very much for hanging out and just being a part of it. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, kids.